Here, we're going to look at how to use differential to get the value of square root or cube root of values. Now this question says use differential to evaluate the cube root of 65. Now the cube root of 65, we can really not get that exactly. We can use this formula, say f of x into x plus change in x is equal to y plus change in y, that's dy. Now this is all y, f of x is also y. So since we cannot get directly the cube root of 65, we can get the cube root of a number that is very close to 65, which is 64, because 64 plus 1 is 65. Therefore our x is 64 and our change in x or dx is 1. This plus this will give us 65. That means that our y is the cube root of x and our change in y is what we now need to find. Remember that if we differentiate y with respect to x, this will become x raised to power 1 over 3. So if we differentiate that, we're going to get that dy dx is equal to 1 over 3 x raised to power minus 2 over 3. If you really don't understand differentiation, you can watch my video on differentiation to understand what we did. So moving on, we can make dy subject of the formula by cross multiplying. So if we cross multiply, we have 1 over 3 x raised to power minus 2 over 3 dx. Now if we fix the values, dy is equal to 1 over 3, x is 64, so we put it times 64 raised to power minus 2 over 3. Our dx is actually 1 delta x, so times 1. What this thing means is that dy is equal to 1 over 3. The cube root of 64 is 4, so we have times 4 raised to power minus 2 times 1. Therefore, dy is, we can rewrite this to be 1 over 3 times 1 over 4 squared, laws of indices, times 1. So our dy is equal to 1 over 4. 4 squared is 16. 16 times 3 is 48. So we have 1 over 48. Which is equal to 0.21. Now finally f of 64, that's x plus dx, 64 plus 1 is equal to change in y, or y, our y is cube root of x, which is 4, plus dy, our dy is 0.21. If we add two of them, we're going to get 4.21. This question says use differential to evaluate root 36.1. Now we still use the same formula, f into x plus dx is equal to f of x plus change in y, that's dy. This is the same thing as y. So we cannot find the square root of 36.1, but we can find the square root of the nearest number, which is 36. So because of that, our y is equal to 36. Sorry, our x is equal to 36, and our change in x is equal to 0.1. That's the remaining, because 36 plus 0.1 gives us 36.1. So our y is now the square root of x, which is the square root of 36. So because of that, we can say 36 raised to power 1 over 2. And if we differentiate y with respect to x, we're going to have 1 over 2 times x, or 1 over 2x raised to power minus 1 over 2 by differentiating. So we have that dy is equal to 1 over 2. X is the same thing as 36 raised to power minus 1 over 2. So dx So our dy is equal to, we can rewrite this, the square root of 36. The square root of 36 is 6 times the change, thus the x is 0.1. So our dy is, okay, 36, which is 1 over 6 here because of the minus sign, 1 over 6. So 6 times 2 is going to give us 12. So we're going to have 0.1 over 12, which will give us 0.008. Therefore, our dy is equal to 0.008. Our f of x, or x is 36, plus our change in x is 0.1, is equal to the square root of 36, which is 6, plus dy. Our dy is 0.008, which is equal to 6.008. See, very simple. So please, if you've not subscribed to my channel, do so. Thank you.